Hello guys, and welcome back to King Aegon's mighty conquest of the Iron Throne. We've been at peace for a while, and I'm just going to start this off straight away because we're in a tourney. I'll give my little recap while we're going with this. Fighting against Patrick Chambers. You've seen this whole tourney event happen a lot of times. So we've been at peace for a long time, and it finally looks like something may happen because Aegon's late in his life. I mean, he should die soon, and because Aegon is... well, he's unworthy. He's exactly what his nickname says. He's really bad. He's a craven, he's cruel, he's a lunatic, he's arbitrary, he's a tyrant, he's wroth. He's really the worst kind of person, and he's also not hatched that dragon egg. And he doesn't have a dragon. Yeah, he hasn't hatched the dragon egg, and he doesn't have a dragon. And I don't know that when I take over as him, I can actually hatch that dragon egg, because he's a craven. So I'll have to find some way of justifying it when he does take power, which should be soon. Again, because Aegon's getting up there in years, you know, and I do think when that happens, a lot more interesting stuff is going to happen. Vhagar is definitely a better choice than his older brother. He's not that good either, but he's a better choice. But he's busy off in the Citadel, and he's learned quite a couple of things that you can tell from his little links. He's becoming a maester. On the other hand, you have my daughter Valena, who's possessed. She has a matrilineal marriage, so she is also pumping out Targaryens. You have Rael there. And then Samela, who's married to Aerion. They have two sons, Valerion and Aegon. So there's no shortage of candidates to maybe push for when Aerion takes over. So I expect there'll be a lot more chaos, which will be a fun change. But for now, I think peacetime has been a nice little thing. It's not been something I've seen too much so far in my series. Obviously, the Robert Baratheon one was choked full of war. Victory's mine. I've defeated all that stood before me, and no one capable of unhorsing me from my fine mount. I've claimed the winner's purse and the adulation of the gallery, victorious. So I win the tournament. But yeah, obviously, the series is all about building a dynasty. It's about seeing what would happen with me doing my best to replicate the characters with their traits. So it's really trying to legitimately pull off an alternate universe scenario, because I'm going by, you know, my method of role-playing with their traits and how they do, to really see if this kingdom could stand, at least with CK2's mechanics. So there's gonna be a couple of kings who will probably hold it peacefully if they're good, and that's to be expected, and there'll be a lot of peace if they live long, which is always, I mean, that's something that happens. And there'll be kings who cause absolute chaos and wreak havoc. Those are the more interesting parts of history. Garland Gardner, you can be there. Vhagar has had a pewter link. He also wants to tame a dragon, though. Pewter link, peoples and cultures. So he's got 7 links now. The Archmaester has, we've counted this before, but let's have a look again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I say steel already? They repeat some, so... no, 6. Lead, I've said, right? No, 7. Pewter 8. Electrum, no. Pewter is 8, though. Yeah. Electrum is not. There's another pewter one. Another steel. Another lead. 9, 10, 11, I think. 11, maybe 12. I'm going to round up a bit because I don't want to look through all of them. But 11, maybe 12. My son has 7, so he's going to be a full-fledged maester soon, I can only expect. Oh my god! When he went off to the Citadel, he had, like, Aerion was his only rival. And then a couple of days in, when he had his first chain, I went to check and he had 2 rivals. I was like, okay. They were both maesters. And then a couple of days later, he has another rival. He is just... every maester in the Citadel does not like him. The longer he stays there, the more he alienates them. Forget what I said about him being a better candidate than his brother for king. At least his brother has friends. And they're maesters, too. He is hated. Oh... really sad life Vhagar lives. The Grace for some time now have been in the employ of Lord Paramount Lewin, but now I seek a better station. I humbly request to join you in King's Landing so that I may serve you. All I ask for in return is a small recompense. He doesn't want to be Master-at-Arms, but he isn't great. He's 64 and a craven, so no. Keep serving the Martell Lord in the Westerlands. Wait a minute. Wait a second. What happened? Okay, so he's still Lord Commander of the Wall. That's still going on. The Night's Watch has returned to being elective. But the High Lordship of the Wall and Command of Castle Black are both primogeniture. Oh, that's going to be chaos. When he dies, his son Kevin will start being High Lord from Castle Black, but the Wall will supposedly be given to someone else. One of these guys, maybe. Really, anyone. It doesn't show me who it is. Guthur Footley? Him. He's the expected heir of the Wall, so he'll just rule from the Shadow Tower, I guess. Meanwhile, Castle Rock, excuse me, has gone to Lord Guy Keith of Gravesham. I don't know how he did that. So, okay, I think I understand. Davin, who was Lord Commander of the Wall, he gave command of Castle Rock to one of his Night's Watchmen, as you do, so he doesn't hold all the castles, and he gave it to Morgan Keith. Of course, because that wasn't supposed to be his, and it was all buggy. Eventually, it considered that Morgan Keith wasn't a valid ruler, and so it gave it to his heir, so a member of House Keith, which happens to be Guy Keith. So now he just rules Casterly Rock, the lowly Lord of Gravesham, which is probably the worst holding in the Riverlands. It's really bad. Now rules Casterly Rock, so that's really, really good for House Keith. Great turn of events for them. He hasn't moved his seat of power, though. He still rules from Gravesham. Okay. I expect the Martells will declare a war eventually, and I don't think I'll stop him. Lord Jonathan Stokeworth died of an infection. His son Ronald rules. Septon Damon reports that Commander Thurgood of King's Landing has been humbled by your endless generosity to the poor in King's Landing. The peasants are singing your name. Job well done. Vakar's become fat. Okay. Your Grace, the latest batch of warships for the Royal Fleet you commissioned is complete. Blech. Our power at sea is now formidable. All fear the Royal Fleet. Indeed, fear it. Fear it. Let's have a look at the dragons. Dragox, Ravenous, but it's become affectionate, which is really good. Makes it a lot more tameable. And then you have Meraxes, still kicking it, really strong still. I've heard great tales of how rich and prosperous Lord Randall's realm is as of late. The Lord ruling over such a rich nation must be a very respectable person, provided that any of what I've heard is true, of course. Impressive indeed. Oh no, it's just this guy again, I forgot. He was trying to... Leave me alone, Lips. Lord Lips over here keeps trying to get me to like him. Damon has declared Lord Damon's claim on Stonehead. Or Stonyhead. Okay, he's got 21,000 with him. He married a Durrandon. That's really neat. So in the end, all of the descendants of House Baratheon will be Durrandons. He still managed... Oh, that's from his first wife. He had a silver-haired Baratheon, because they don't have the gene of the black hair from the Durrandons anymore. But I expect any of their children will be black-haired. How many do you have? Ronald has 20. They have about the same men. I might let that war just play out until one of the lords requests me to stop it. In fact, that's what I'll do, because they're both very loyal lords. You know. And he's got a claim to Stonyhead himself. It's a little bit of a contested bit of land. So I'm going to let it play out. And he is asking me, okay, Your Grace, I humbly ask that you intervene on my behalf against the aggression of Lord Paramount Daemon Baratheon, who is invading my lands in obvious contravention of the peace of the realm. I'd be eternally grateful for your support in this matter. Well, since he asked me, I will order him to stand down. If he didn't, I would have just let it play out, but since he does, yeah. Your Grace, I'll of course obey your will and end the war as commanded. Please take this as a sign of my continued loyalty. Signed, Lord Daemon of House Baratheon. He is a Targaryen loyalist, as you can see from that plus 30 modifier. So all his family will always be loyalists until they renounce it, which happens quite a bit. Grand Maester's died, Grand Maester Helman. Maybe one day Vakar can be my Grand Maester, but for now we have Aeron. New Grand Maester Aeron, 64 and cancerous, he's gonna die soon. He has a raven with him and is not that good for a Grand Maester. A woman accused of witchcraft in King's Landing has been dragged before your court, several witnesses have seen her performing dark rituals in her secluded hut, possibly related to recent crop failures. She claims innocence and it falls on you to determine her fate. Now, normally, the original Aegon would have released her because he was just and cynical, so he wouldn't have believed that she was guilty. This Aegon's no longer cynical, right? And there's several people accusing her, several witnesses seeing her perform dark rituals, but the crime that they're charging her, well, she's accused of witchcraft, which is an actual crime, I think, and since she has been seen, she's definitely going to get one of these two. She's not going to get released because she's committed a crime, I guess, in this medieval society or whatever. She claims innocence to the recent crop failures. I'm going to throw in the dungeon. He's no longer cynical, but that doesn't mean he believes everything, you know? It's a very, very much speculation that she caused the crop failures. And Aegon isn't in for that. Recent events have increased your grasp of stewardship. You get +2 with stewardship. There's the Dark Robin. There's the Lord Commander. The winter fever just went and flew by. It did not harm anyone in my house, which is good. Alara is complaining about her dark selves in the dungeon. Let her rot. She will rot. She's a witch. She doesn't even have the mystic trait, though. She's just ugly. That's it. The world is a dangerous place and devious plots are everywhere. Rumors have reached you that people are conspiring to kill you. I must be careful. Well, that's an event trigger, so let's have a look. Oh. What's this? Uther Uller and Justin Uller? So 2 Ullers want to kill me. Why do you want to kill me? Is it because your cousin or whatever hates me? Have you end that, just real quick. It's not a big plot, so I'm not worried. It's obviously related to me having banished Aaron Uller to the Night's Watch and castrated him. It seems his son, Uther, did not take kindly to me castrating his father, and is trying to kill me. Both of you will end this plot. If this was a more major one, then I would imprison the both of you and probably have your heads. But yeah, they'll just stop their silly little fooling around. Expand the royal fleet even further. Come on. There you go. Making good money right now. Prince Arion has been a leal and able servant, having successfully completed many tasks and aided the Iron Throne. To be seen as the right and honorable course to reward him with certain incomes and grants, so as to foster greater loyalty. Agreed, I'll arrange this reward, or I could give him an artifact, but I won't. Not just yet. Not just yet. Neither of them are pregnant. Okay. Faker hasn't gotten any new links. He's just chilling. She's become a drunkard. Didn't even notice. Old red-nosed Rainies. Always in the bottle. Turning a risk for fleeting glory. I'm not going to join that. Made my stance on non-regional tourneys clear when I'm a man of this caliber. Could always commit suicide. I could. Now, isn't there enough... Wait a minute. Yes, this is what I wanted to do. I can go on a tour to make a progress on my own realm. So that's what I want to do. Because I haven't done this event at all since it was introduced to the mod. Where do you wish to go on your tour? I'll make a royal progress of my realm. You start a royal progress of the Iron Throne, you'll be able to choose a short, regular, or long progress. I wish to see all the world has to offer. Yeah, I'll make it long. What size of entourage would you like to take on your royal progress? A larger choice will be more burdensome on your vassals, but will be more impressive to the common small folk. I want a huge entourage of lords and knights. I don't think so. Wish an entourage of courtiers befitting my rank? Probably. Just myself and some retainers will suffice. So I'll take this extra prestige, less revolt risk, slightly less vassal opinion, and it doesn't hit my gold as hard. It is time to depart King's Landing and start the royal progress of my domain. I shall return a better man. Instruction, you must select your next destination by interacting with one of your vassals and selecting the visit tour option. Cool. So, we leave King's Landing, and we'll open this up with a visit to Storm's End. I plan on just kind of visiting the major holds, at least. Don't know how many I can visit on a big tour, but we'll start here. Visit on tour, make Storm's End the next destination on your tour. You start the journey to Storm's End. Do it. Okay. Suppose it takes a while to get there. Your Grace, I humbly request that my bastard son Theomore Flowers be legitimized and be a fully recognized member of House Ball. I'd be most grateful for your acceptance. Now, what I tend to do with this request is accept it if it seems just. Now, in this case, it seems just. It seems very just to me. Because his wife is old, she's not going to have any more children. His family's an old one, and his heir, he has no heir right now because it's agnatic primogeniture. He needs his son to be legitimized, his bastard son to be legitimized, to have any chance at keeping House Ball alive. So I will grant it. Did I grant it? Did I misclick? Almost felt like I misclicked there. Prince Gerald the White Lion has died of gonorrhea. And my hand of the king, the Dark Robin, has recommended Sir Narbert Cole for the position. He's not really that great, is he, Dark Robin? But I'll send the invitation since you asked me to. He has joined me. He's relinquished his studies at the Citadel. He's one of the few maesters who didn't hate my son. He had 6 links, 2 electrums. So I guess 5 individual links. But he has joined me. Relinquished his life in the Citadel to take on a white cloak. Good. You and your sizable following of important lords and courtiers are finally nearing Storm's End. You start by addressing the small folk, flanked by a sizable bodyguard. Your haughty words are not received well, and the justice you dispense is looked upon as arbitrary. The small folk has been unsettled by your arrival. So they don't like my arrival. I'm obviously not arbitrary. Now on to see Lord Paramount Durwald Durandon. Angered by progress visit, this gets Storm's End, which gives more local revolt risk, less tax modifier, less levy reinforcement rate, and he gets irritated because people are mad at him for me. Yeah, sorry about that, Durwald. Ooh, this is, I'm assuming, unique to Storm's End? Storm's End. The captain raises the sails of the ship as the ship drifts into Storm's End, docks, and makes berth at one of the piers. The sweltering harbor side is busy with small folk and merchants going about their business. You can't help but notice armed knights roam amongst them. The palace of the Lord Paramount overlooks much of the surrounding cliff. It has impressive towers and curtain wall that surrounds the palace. The walls have robust gates and portcullises. Behind the walls you find vaulted halls, covered bridges, barracks, dungeons, granaries, kennels, and stables. You arrive at the palace and are given a befitting welcome by Lord Paramount Durwald Durandon and a large party of knights and lords. Lord Paramount Durwald enthusiastically shakes your hand, asks after your love, and offers you hippocras, after which he invites you to a large feast in your honor. Now, he doesn't have the Targaryen loyalist modifier, but he does like me a lot. What an interesting place. Oh, I immediately leave? Oh, in a week. Okay. As you walk through the streets, you come across a group of small folk. I can give him gold. Your host is annoyed at you for giving them gold, 25% chance. I care not for these people. He's not particularly charitable, nor is he trying to show his money off, you know, he's humble. So yeah, it's not his problem. A minor noble by the name of Karen Elsigar requests remedy as she recently received land near Storm's End by writ of the Lord Paramount. But when she came to occupy the land, there were already armed men present who assaulted her, carried off her goods, and ousted her from her land. I'll send men to restore order and peace. I can only grant you refuge for now. And you want me to do what exactly? Now, I don't have that much money, but I will send men. I'll do that. He's just, he's authoritative, he'll do it. After many days of feasting, of talking, it's time for you to leave your host and move on to your next destination of your royal progress. I'll cut this short and return home. No, we travel onwards. Yes, for sure. And straight to Dorne we go. Why can't we go to Dorne? Oh, we need more money. I don't want to do this. I really don't want to take a loan from them. That's massive interest. No. Plus 35%. Come on. I'll just wait till I get the money. Your Grace, your entourage is awaiting your instruction as to the next destination. And how do I do that? We'll just wait in Storm's End for a couple days. Erwin of Fair Isle has declared Fair Isle war for Lady Alice's claim on the Westerlands. Is that Alice Rain? Because I won't interfere if it's a Rain. I legitimately will not. Come on. Oh, come on. Who's Alice? Who the hell? Oh, if it's a Lannister. Please don't be a Lannister. Oh, no, it's going to. It's going to be a Lannister. Why do you... God damn it. I'm not going to let her take the throne. Plus, it would just be inherited by the Farmans. At a meeting of your Regency Council, Lord Aegon Targaryen's position on the council was put under question. So who's my new regent? Visenya's in charge. And she's not Aerion's mother. She's Vakar's mother. So, yeah. Your bannerman, Lord Duncan Powell, called a vote to have him removed. A vote which passed. Lord Aegon has been fired as a result. They fired my son, the heir to the throne, from his position on the council. I'm sure they know what they're doing. A couple voted against, including the Lord Commander of my Kingsguard. Thank you, Aegon. Visenya actually voted against, and Rhaenys obviously voted against her son being removed. But then you had a lot of men voting for him being removed. You had the Master-at-Arms Brandon Stark. You had Lord Ronald Arryn, who's an advisor. You had Duncan Pyle, who's Master of Coin. You had the Dark Robin, who's my hand, voting for. Grand Maester voting for. The Septon voting for. And Sir Andrew's an advisor? Who's Sir Andrew? Is he my friend, maybe? Who the hell is Sir Andrew? Oh, the Master of Whispers. Where is he? How am I not seeing him? This guy. Okay. So yeah, they voted, and it was, what, 7-4 and 4 against? So he's gone. And we need a new Master of Ships. We'll appoint Harry's Hayford, I suppose. Or no, the Lord of Massey's Hook. He's got a fleet. During your journey across the seas, your ship was hit by a terrible storm. The ship is violently rocking back and forth, and you try to cling onto anything to keep steady, whilst your men tend to keeping the ship on course, and more importantly, in one piece. Oh, the crone, no! 50% chance your men get the ship under control and you safely pass through the storm. 40% chance you're hit by some debris from above and are injured, but the ship manages to make it through the storm. 10% chance of your Valyrian steel sword is lost, and Aegon dies. Looks like the 40% chance took. As your men slowly manage to get the ship back under control, you hear a loud crack from above, and a piece of the mast comes hurtling toward you, hitting your arm. As you slowly recover and stand up, you see that it has impaled itself in your arm. The surgeon on board comes to help you as the crew have got the ship under control and proceed to your destination. This better not get infected. So he's gotten wounded in his royal progress. Where I'm assuming he's just sailing now. Not going particularly. Yes, I know I have to go somewhere. I'm just waiting till I have more money. There are people conspiring to kill my son. Who the hell? Oh, the Gold Cloaks barracks has been built. Fantastic. Definitely. There we go. Oh, we finished the fortifications of King's Landing, so these are at max. The Red Keep is... Aegon Fort's not at max. Should I let House Martell try to deal with this war by themselves? Probably. I mean, they should win, right? I will... Stop events. I know what I have to do. I'm just waiting for money. She's improved my relations with the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch and the Lord Commander of my Kingsguard. Gendry Southmere died a natural death. Robin Dark Robin has recommended Sir Ronald of 54 be named. He's a skilled fighter, brave. I'll do that. I'm sorry, Your Grace, he says, but someday I'll hold lands of my own. My house needs me more than the realm. He'll hold the small castle of 54. That much is true. Okay. If you don't want to join, there's plenty of men who can do it. Lusamore Ironwood is definitely, I think, the choice here. Mathis Hollow is a fine knight, but much too young. Vance is also a good knight. Lucian Cargill, I really just don't trust him. He's a good fighter. But, you know, I don't think he's a Lord Commander material. Edwell's young. Norbert Cole isn't great. Yeah, Sir Lusamore Ironwood, step forward. In the throne room, the Lord Commander kneels before you to take up his new duty of leading the Kingsguard, vowing anew to protect your person from all those who may harm you. There he is, new Lord Commander. Now I need a knight from a powerful house. No? Mark Manderley. Now he's in the Citadel as well. But he's a really good fighter. Or Wendell Harder. Stone Dornishman. Who appears to be a better fighter. Because he is brawny, or sturdy, rather, as well as deceitful. I'll do harder because he's not at the Citadel. I'm sorry, Your Grace, but someday I'll hold lands of my own. Okay, so he doesn't want to. Okay, here we go. The Grand Maester's also dead, so a lot of councilmen dying. He's not a commander. I'm not peace. Where am I a commander? What am I commanding? Oh, because they are not at peace. Okay. So I suppose I'll have to take a detour to Highgarden. Off we go. The Conclave has selected a new Grand Maester for me, or Grand Maester Andrew. Knights I can trust the most. Sir Manfred of the Red Watch, very old. Sir Stefan, also very old. And Sir Otten, less old, but he's not great. I'll just manually search for this last man. Married, no. Ruler, no. And I will search for Great House. It's always funner to have one of the popular names of the Great House defending me. Giles Frey. He's in the Citadel, but maybe. Ryman Shet is definitely an option. I think he's already denied me. Yeah, he's done the refused Kingsguard. Jorgen Hightower. Here's Hutchison. Otto Hutchison. He's the heir to a castle, but he might join. Oliver Ironwood. Should I maybe... Well, I already have an Ironwood on the Kingsguard. Should I get another one? Son of a Dane and an Ironwood. Maybe. He's a pretty good fighter. Little younger than what I wanted, but... beggars can't be choosers. Sometimes there are just no great knights to go around. You know? What about Graceford? Sir Jason Flowers. Yeah. Why haven't I appointed him? Be the highest honor to serve in your Kingsguard. So there he is, Sir Jason Flowers. A Graceford bastard. Skilled fighter, brave, and deceitful. He's a really good fighter. And a good commander, too. Okay, now I'll have enough money for the next part of my tour. Need a new advisor. Which... might be Gardner. I'll wait till after this little section's done. Actually, just Lord Commander. To all the good lords of the Iron Throne, I declare that Lord Ulrich Ironwood of the Stoneway has upset the delicate balance of power in the realm by refusing to relinquish control of the High Lordship of Ghost Hills to one of his vassals. Let this tyranny be known throughout the realm, and his power restrained for the good of all. Signed, Lord Freeholder Willia Pelgill of Plankytown. This does indeed sound a threat. So he's a tyrant, the Lord of the Stoneway, because he refused to give up one of his many titles. After a long journey, you and your sizable following of important lords and courtiers are approaching Highgarden. You march through an area with your sizable bodyguard and oversee the execution of criminals, making sure the small folk know their king. They are wary, but the small folk welcome you. Now on to see Lord Paramount Garthgardner. Happy with progress visit, so they actually like what I'm doing. Wow. Visenya is taking advantage of being in charge of the Iron Throne. She's removed Duncan Pyle from his seat of power as Master of Coin, fired him from the council. Does she have any friends that I could appoint? Maybe Sir Orland. He's Master at Arms. He's already on my council. You wouldn't even join me. Okay. We'll make Benjamin Hardy, I suppose, the new Master of Coin. Or Manfred Faring. So Visenya has removed Duncan Pyle and appointed the young Manfred Faring as the new Master of Coin. As you walk through the streets, you come across a group of small folk. Again, I care not for these people. I'll do the same that I did with the Stormlands. Here we go. It is another batch of unique text, it appears. Really cool that they did that. Highgarden. The captain raises the sails of the ship as the ship drifts into Highgarden docks and makes berth at one of the piers. The sweltering harbor side is busy with small folk and merchants going about their business. You can't help but notice armed knights roam amongst them. The palace of the Lord Paramount overlooks much of the surrounding peninsula. It has impressive towers and a curtain wall that surrounds the palace. The walls have robust gates and portcullises. Behind the walls you find vaulted halls, covered bridges, barracks, dungeons, granaries, kennels, and stables. Guard of honor welcomes you as you enter the palace. Knights and lords in their finest attire stand in line to salute you, and countless Targaryen banners adorn the palace, with the words Fire and Blood also emblazoned on large banners. Lord Paramount Garthgardner heartily welcomes you, and you warmly discuss the privilege of good education and the comfort that comes. So it's not fully unique text. They copy a lot of it, but part of it is different. The beginning part is different, and the end is different. How marvelous. So that's interesting. Romella Haystwick has used her attendance at the feast in Highgarden to present a petition for justice before the court. She claims that Sir Robert Haystwick had her kinsman Armin Haystwick murdered, demands that he's brought to justice for this outrageous crime. So who is she blaming for this? Who is Robert Haystwick? Here, this guy. Spymaster. He is a dynastic kinslayer, a known murderer, and he killed her brother, Armin. Yeah. He'll be arrested and made to answer for this, of course. He's now safely locked away in the dungeon. He was the heir to Haystwick. He won't be anymore. Crime and banditry in Highgarden is rampant, and a group of minor nobles have attended your feast to complain of this. They petition you to use your powers and coin to eradicate the menace plaguing the area. I don't have that much coin, but I'll do it. I mean, I have to. When I traveled to King Aegon's feast, a band of highway robbers attacked me and my retinue. We managed to fend them off and barely escaped with our lives. Can't King Aegon make sure the roads are safe? I complained to Garce about myself, I think, and I lose gold complaining. The scale of the banditry and crime in Highgarden was too much for Lord Paramount Brandon to handle. Despite being granted many men and much gold, he could not capture most prominent and cunning of the bandits and rogues. In one armed confrontation, Lord Paramount Brandon and his men came off much the worse. At least I tried. He has become wounded. After many days of feasting and talking, it's time for you to leave your host and move on to your next destination on your royal progress. We travel onwards. This is going to take a while because we lost a lot of money on those little events. Your Grace, your entourage is waiting your instruction. Yeah, I know. So Dorne has gone to peace, so we can now backtrack and go to Dorne. In fact, Highgarden has actually gone to war with the Stormlands. Garce is claiming the Dornish marches. The hell are you doing? Stop this. Imagine trying to claim the entire Dornish marches. So I commanded him to end the war, and now the council is voting, so rather Visenya did. The vote on whether to command Lord Paramount Garce Gardner to end his war against Lord Paramount Durwald Durrandon has been taken. The council voted in favor. So Rhaenys Targaryen voted for, Visenya voted for, the Septon voted for, Robin Darkwind, my hand of the king, voted for, and the Grand Maester voted for. On the other hand, 3 men voted against. Interesting that not all of the council actually got to vote. Why would that be? It seems the advisors didn't get a say in this. But they got a say in removing someone from the council, which is interesting. The advisor and the master of ships, actually. Voting against was Sir Manfred Faring, the master of coin, Sir Endry, the master of whispers, and the master at arms, Lord Brandon Stark. Your Grace, I'm afraid I cannot end this war. My cause is just, and as such you have no right to command me to stand down. What? Sorry? Gardner, you remember what happened to your old grandfather Mern? Yeah, he had a little problem. He lost his head. Just didn't know where it went. Well, that's a shame. Gonna have to take him in. What? The council doesn't want to imprison him, it seems. Returning favors to Visenya. So Visenya's got favors. And because she's a glory hound, there's no glory in the character's defense. No, he's not. He's 49. I do not want you to weaken powerful vassals. Oh, okay, that's the only one that's true. So she doesn't want to weaken powerful vassals, so she says no. But he's weakening another powerful vassal right now. Guess we'll have to let the massive war play out until Aegon can return. Your Grace, your entourage is awaiting your instruction. Yeah, I know, I need more money. The age-old problem. Visit on tour. It's 50 gold! He's offering to pay. Ooh, I do need gold. But no, you'll stay in my custody. You'll die in there. I can't actually kill him. My council would do it. Because Visenya essentially controls the council. She's got favors from 2 important people. And she's got pretty much everyone swayed with her. Gloryhound, I dislike this character. That's all she needs. All she needs. And when I return, I can actually call this guy for trial. I might have to end the royal progress early. And I very well might just do that. How do I return? Is there a way to return? No, I want to come back. Okay, but I want to come back from my progress. How do I do that? Okay, I can't come back from my progress. I have to go to Dorne. Because, I mean, I've been wounded in the progress. I've run out of money. I just didn't prepare well enough for this. So I want to return and then start up a new progress soon enough to visit the northern parts after I've taken all the south. So I guess I still have to go to Dorne, huh? How much would it cost to go to Castamere? He needed to be at peace. Atranta? I can go to Atranta right now. Ah, I'll wait. He's had a silver link added. A second silver link. Yes. Which is a further specialization in medicine. Earning 2 links in a subject allows a maester to select it as a specialization and earn a third link. So he's really good at medicine, which is good. And there you go. He's actually gotten a learning trait. Or started to get one. He's incompetent, apparently. Of course he is. The old wound is finally healed, leaving a pretty grotesque scar behind. Is he officially a maester? Doesn't seem so. Ew. So I'm no longer wounded. Your Grace, the latest batch of warships for the Royal Fleet you commissioned is complete. Good job, Justin. You did what you had to do. Yes, I know. I need just a little bit more money. At a meeting of your Regency Council, Sir Manfred Faring's position on the council was put under question. Seems my Grand Maester has called a vote to have him removed, a vote which passed, and he's been fired. So that's another Master of Coin fired. Now, Visenya also voted for. Septon voted for. The Grand Maester voted for. Lord Robin voted for. Stark voted for. And my Lord Commandant voted for. Lord Commander. So that's 6 people voting for, and it appears 5 against. With Rainey's voting against, Sir Andrew, the Master of Whispers, voting against, Justin Massey, the Master of Ships, voting against, Manfred Farin himself, the Master of Coin, voting against, and Ronald Aaron, an advisor, voting against. But he's gone now, and we need another Master of Coin. This is someone else. We'll just call Garth Gardner to the council. Let him officially take his seat on the council. He might win this war against the Stormlands. News from the Battle of Glitterdale, Your Grace. Your bannerman, Lord Tywald Brax, has been slain. He was killed in direct single combat by the enemy commander, Lord Roland Crakehall. So it seems the Martells have the Westerland secured. They're going to win that war. Sigrun, meanwhile, Sigrun Harlaw has died, and his grandson, Ulf, has inherited the Isles. Won't be very secure under him, but oh well. Your Grace, your counselor, Lord Robin Darkland, was killed by armed thugs while investigating a rumor about a plot in King's Landing. Horrible. So that's another Hand of the King who's died before Aegon. So we have to name someone else. Daemon Baratheon. Why not? My nephew will take his father's place. His father was the original Hand. With that, we'll set the visit on tour now that I have the money for it. And I'll end this episode here. So on the next episode, we'll take up the tour. I expect I'll only be visiting Dorne and then ending it a little prematurely. I might go to the other ones, maybe. Try to save up money. Don't know. Aegon's still kicking at 62. He's still doing it. Aeryn's in hiding because he thinks people are out to kill him, which he's probably right about. I haven't actually checked too much into it because that's not my business. It's my son's business to stop those. A little cruel maybe, but whatever. He's cruel. Valerian actually turning out pretty good in traits. I mean, he's got Clubfooted and Lunatic, which he had from birth. Aside from those, every trait he's earned has been good. Aegon's pretty plain. Rael is eh. And then Vakar is turning into a maester, slowly but surely. So yeah, we'll end this episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, do like and subscribe. I'll keep the series going, obviously. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.